Former President Obama is putting the dagger into Donald Trump, and he is working hard to end Trump's term now and also to flip the Senate. We've seen some major developments in so-called red states as it relates to the United States Senate, and former President Obama is indeed leading the charge. Former President Obama earlier this morning talking about flipping Iowa, turning it blue, taking control of the Senate away from these despicable MAGA Republicans. Former President Obama announced that he's endorsing the Democrat in Iowa, Josh Turek. And I'm sure you've seen Turek here on the MeidasTouch network for that U.S. Senate seat in Iowa. Turek is running against that despicable MAGA Republican, Ashley Hinson, who supported the disastrous budget bill. She loves the tariff. She loves to watch her constituents suffer. And Obama was letting Donald Trump have it, invoking the state, Iowa, of course, where his historic rise for the Obama presidency began. Remember, Obama won the 2008 Iowa caucuses, and he carried the state in both the 2008 and 2012 general elections, reminding people that when you fight for the people of Iowa, Iowa stands with you, and Iowa is a very, very flippable seat for this upcoming Senate race. And the more we look at the Senate map, and I'll get to this in a moment, the more it looks possible that not just the House flipping blue, but the Senate actually has, I believe, a strong path, especially as Donald Trump brings us further and further into this catastrophic war. Let's show you what went down. So Obama and Turek released, I think, the video of the year so far in this campaign cycle, and they were both reposting it today. Let me show you. Josh Turek posted the following. Great game, Mr. President. Iowa, you heard President Obama. The ball is in your court. Join our campaign and help us push for change. Watch this incredible video of Turek and Obama. Let's play it.
Ball game. Who's got next?
I got it. You ready for me, Josh?
I'm ready.
Let's go. We playing horse or what?
We're playing Iowa.
I know a little something about winning Iowa.
All right, here we go.
Are we ready?
You know when it's in.
Come on, I'm not going to just give it away.
All right.
That thing is silky smooth.
Thousands of hours of practice.
You were the shooter?
4-time Paralympian, 2-time gold medalist.
Back-to-back gold medals.
Okay.
I told you, I'm not just going to give it away to you. You got to earn this thing.
We'll back up a little bit. All right.
See, this is just going to put some pressure on me. Let's see if the bank's open. Oh, bank was closed.
Well, I wasn't going to let you win.
Well.
Oh.
Come on now.
You have a Mount Rushmore?
I do think Jordan's the GOAT.
I do too.
I think LeBron's probably number 2.
Agree with you.
I think Kareem is probably number 3.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, come on. I thought I had that. I'd have to put Magic at 4.
I've got Russell after that, and then I think I go Kareem. That's good.
He's calling it now. So you like that 3-pointer?
Hey, you shoot where you want.
All right, let's go. Tell me how things are going out there.
Everywhere we go, urban areas, rural areas, people are ready for change.
Oh, I thought I had that one. That's Iowa right there, buddy. A lot of people have heard me say this. Of all the things I've done in politics, Iowa was my favorite thing. There was just a magic about regular folks showing up in gyms
like this
and just talking out. How do we move our state forward? How do we move the country forward?
Well, I'll tell you what, people all across Iowa are saying that they're feeling that hope, that optimism for the first time in a long time.
That's my sense. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
I've seen enough. Not only did I get whooped, but you've got here a man of character, somebody who knows how to win. Now the ball's in your court, Iowa. Let's make sure that we send Josh Turek to the United States Senate.
Tell you what, he's a good shooter. I was impressed.
Now, former President Obama posted the following. Josh Turek has plans to make life better for every Iowan. Now, Iowa, the ball is in your court. Let's work to get Turek for Iowa elected. Now, I recently spoke with Turek. Here's what he told me. Let's play this clip.
Hello, my friend, and thank you for having me. I love seeing that video. It's even inspiring me. I'm Iowa State Representative Josh Turek. As the video said, born with spina bifida, 21 surgeries by the age of 12, gone on to play in 4 Paralympic Games, won 2 gold medals representing my country, been the director of a nonprofit organization where we provide free summer camps to disabled kids, and ran originally for my race because of what privatized Medicaid was doing in Iowa to the disabled population, and representing the reddest part of the state that any Democrat has been able to win in.
Well, Josh, tell us first about how you won in that area, because it does provide, pun intended, a blueprint for what you can do nationwide. So how'd you win that House seat originally when no one said that was possible?
I love that. It is the blueprint. And the blueprint is hard work, grit, determination. I went out every single day from June all the way until November, crawling those stairs, knocking doors, dragging my wheelchair up, having face-to-face conversations with, it did not matter the party, with Republicans, with independents, with Democrats. I was out there as a common sense, prairie populist is what I would call myself, of going out there and talking about the kitchen table issues. And I would always hear 2 things when I would get up on people's doors. The very first thing they would say is, "How in the world did you get up here?" And I would say, I crawled up here. I drug my wheelchair up here. That's how important it is to have a conversation with you. And then I would tell them about my story and why I'm running and kitchen table issues. And by the end, they would say, I'm not going to vote for every Democrat, but I'm going to vote for you because I like the kind of Democrat that you are.
Now, who's Josh Turek running against? He's running against Ashley Hinson, a MAGA Republican extremist currently in the House of Representatives. She did 2 town halls back in 2025, and now she hides from her constituents. Go figure. She's running for Senate, but she's hiding from her constituents. She supports data centers in everyone in Iowa's backyard. She supports the disastrous budget bill. She supports giving Donald Trump golden ballrooms and Qatari jets. I have quotes from her saying these things. She supports the MAGA fascist agenda. She wants more Border Patrol and ICE to go into Iowa and to really cause pain and suffering and torture to the people there. She wants to figure out how she hurts the people of Iowa the most. She's running basically on a torture, kill, crush, destroy MAGA campaign, in my opinion, because that's the consequence of all of her actions, in my opinion. So just to remind you, back in September of 2025, and you see why Obama wants to make sure that Ashley Hinson is nowhere near the United States. She's dangerous. She's deadly and dangerous. Let's take a look over here. What she said back on September 2025. Remember when the crowd booed her? Here, play this clip.
I was also proud to vote for President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, a generational investment to secure our borders, continued tax relief for working Americans. I can't believe you would boo tax relief for working Americans.
And then she talked about how she loved the disastrous budget bill and how back in 2025, I was going to spur all of this incredible economic growth. Let's play this clip.
Number 2, we're going to make some of these fundamental changes to a legacy program like Medicaid that's on autopilot with spending, and prove that the sky won't fall, right? People will get back into the workforce. The economy will roar back. I don't think we can fully grow our way out of where we are right now, but I think we have to start there. Mm-hmm. So when I look at the numbers coming out of CBO, number 1, I think they're wrong, right? When you look at their projections for the original Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, and you look at their projections for the IRA, they've historically been bad estimators, right? So they're estimating low levels of growth. They're estimating low levels of dollars coming in versus cost, right? So I think when I look at those numbers versus what I anticipate and what I'm hearing on the ground, people are hungry for this legislation. They're hungry for solid tax policy that's going to enable them to make those investments. And so I think we will see the ability not only to say the proof's in the pudding, this is a good bill, it's unleashing all of this opportunity for our economy, but then also at the same time proving to the American people, no, we're not going to cater to the fear mongering from the Democrats that changing these programs is going to mean the American people are going to suffer, which is what they're out there saying.
And then when one of her constituents asked her, I think it was one of the very last town halls that she ever did, so you're okay with Trump and getting Qatari jets? And this was before we knew the 21,000 stock trades, which we obviously had an inkling that was going on. And before we understood the billions and billions of dollars that Trump and his family made, and now they want to Trump and Kushner's take over FIFA and Albanian islands and sell everything off. I mean, she's like, I love that. It's amazing. She goes, I'm very ethical. I sit on the House Ethics Committee, so I must be very ethical. Here, let's play this clip.
In particular, I'm thinking about the $400 million jet that was given to Mr. Trump. I'm thinking about the meme coins and the dinner at the White House. I'm thinking about the Liberty Fund and the Ponzi scheme and the billions of dollars that are coming into there. So there's lots of reasons why somebody like you might be silent. You might be scared to say something. You might actually like to see the corruption. I know there are some that are making a lot of money from it. Or you might not care about it. Could you help me understand why you are silent about this corruption?
Thank you for your question. I think it's really unfair to imply that I like to see corruption in Washington, D.C. I reject that premise wholeheartedly. I am here answering your questions in public because I care about transparency. Just a minute, I'm going to answer your question. I care about transparency and accessibility and doing things the right way. I was actually just named to the House Ethics Committee because I do things the right way. That is a committee that is evenly balanced. It's Republicans and Democrats 5 and 5, and we have to, in many cases, look at very serious allegations against our colleagues and police them from doing the right things. I'm answering your question. Steve, I'm answering your question. You may not like my answer, and if that's the case, then that's your right to not like my answer, but I'm answering your question. So one of the things that I did to lead by example here, so that my constituents know that the decisions that I am making, because I am accountable to all of you. Many of you probably didn't vote for me, some of you probably did. What I think is important is leading by example. And so when I was named to the House Appropriations Committee, for example, I want to make sure you know that any decision that I make, any funding request I make, is not something I'm going to get a kickback on. So my husband and I actually sold all of our publicly traded stocks. I'm not making stock trades to make money while I'm in Congress. I'm not doing any of that stuff. The other thing I think is important is following the rules. And so when you look at what happened with that claim, everything was followed ethically. It was given to the Department of Defense. And what I think is important to note in this bigger conversation is there is going to be a look at make sure that plane is safe for us to use. Ultimately, that's my biggest concern with any sort of plane like that. If it's received from a foreign entity, we need to make sure the rules were followed and that there are no spy materials available on the plane.
By the way, Obama took a surprise visit just the other day to the Obama Presidential Center, which is just absolutely incredible. Everybody should take a visit and just watch how he was greeted with love and a hero's welcome. Let's play this clip. And just so you see how Ashley Hinson's policies and Trump's policies are affecting real people in Iowa and what losing the Affordable Care Act tax credits did to people. And after the election, based on what Trump and MAGA did, you're going to have more people lose Affordable Care Act and more people lose Medicaid after the election. Here, let's play this clip right here.
I want you to look me in the eyes and tell me that you don't care if I die.
That's Grace Calvert's message to Iowa's congressional delegation. 4 months ago, Calvert was diagnosed with glioblastoma, a brain cancer with a median length of survival of 15 months. Doctors pulled an egg-sized tumor out of her head and told her she likely had 22 months left to live with treatment she pays for with insurance through the Affordable Care Act.
They're saying, well, you don't need these enhanced subsidies. Why should you need that? And I'm like, well, I do need it because I have cancer and I'm probably going to die of it. They gave me 22 months.
Calvert put her information into a benefits calculator from the Kaiser Family Foundation, a health policy nonprofit. Once the Affordable Care Act's enhanced premium tax credits sunset, she expects her payments to more than double to more than $300 a month, which Calvert's not sure she can afford.
Yeah, if we didn't have this good insurance that we could afford, I don't think I'd even be able to get treatment.
Calvert blames the credits going away on the big beautiful bill, which did not include an extension to those benefits. Iowa's Republican representatives and senators all supported the Trump-backed bill.
You can't tell me you work for us and then do something that is going to harm us or kill us.
Calvert says she's tried to speak with some of Iowa's representatives and senators, but hasn't had any luck. With her insurance soon to be in jeopardy, she wants to get her message to them out.
Yeah, if we didn't have this good insurance that we could afford, I don't think I'd even be able to get treatment.
Now, it's not just Iowa folks that Donald Trump should be worried about. It's actually Idaho also. Iowa, and there's so many other states, but major developments out of the Senate race in Idaho, where the Democratic nominee for the Senate in Idaho withdrew, leaving independent Todd Achilles, a former Democratic state representative and Army veteran, as the main opposition to the GOP incumbent Jim Risch. Now, Jim Risch is the MAGA Republican through and through. He's 83 years old and running again, so he wants to hold this position till the time he's basically 90 years old, 89, 90. He chairs the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and so this guy has been the main backer of the Iran war, and he was promising the Iran war is going to be great and easy, trust Trump, more troops. I mean, this guy is as bad as you get. And so there was this Democratic candidate, David Roth, and then there was an independent candidate, Todd Achilles, and Todd was polling a little bit better than David, but Todd, former Democratic state representative. And so David pulled out of the race, putting his support behind Todd Achilles, thinking the independent has a better chance in this race than David Roth did. And there are polls that show Todd Achilles ahead now, but now this becomes, it still is a lean right Senate seat, but with a momentum and seeing Democrats overperform as they have in all these specials by 10 to 12 points. If this is a wave midterms, the way I think it could be a wave midterms, I see that road to even Idaho flipping. Pay attention to Idaho right here. And by the way, this is a third major race this month where a Democrat has dropped out to clear the way for an independent in a red state, in order to allow for someone who could ultimately caucus with the Democrats to ensure Republicans are defeated. Todd Achilles said, with Mitch McConnell out of the Senate, I want to say congrats to Jim Risch on his promotion to the third oldest U.S. senator. Way to go, buddy. And just so you see this heinous MAGA Republican Senator Jim Risch of Idaho, and if you're from Idaho, tell me how you feel about this in the comments below also, and make sure everybody subscribes to our YouTube channel. But this was June 23rd, 2026. This is Senator Risch back in June 23rd, delivering remarks telling people don't support war powers resolution. Let Trump do whatever Trump wants to do in Iran. Remind you, we have the receipts to all this stuff. This was June 23rd. And I think the people of Idaho will go, man, you want data centers in our backyard. You want never-ending wars with the United States and Israel going to war against everything while our country suffers. You want tariffs against the world. And don't try to act like that's helping the farmers of Idaho right now. Quite the contrary. Here's what Jim Risch has to say. Let's play it.
Mr. President, today we have before us House Concurrent Resolution number 86. That is the item of business. Well, first of all, I ask unanimous consent to speak for up to 5 minutes before the previously scheduled recess. Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to talk for a minute about House Concurrent Resolution, the item of business that is before the United States Senate this morning. This is a House concurrent resolution which states in operative part, quote, Congress directs the president to remove United States armed forces from hostilities against the Islamic Republic of Iran. I'm going to urge everyone to vote no on this. It is wrong on so many levels, starting with the fact that a concurrent resolution process, which this attempts to do, has been held unconstitutional by the United States Supreme Court. So whatever happens with this, it's going to have no effect. The president isn't going to pay any attention to it. That's one thing. The second thing that's wrong with this is it directs him to remove United States armed forces from hostilities. There are no armed forces at this moment that are engaged in hostilities with Iran. The third thing, and the most important thing, is that voting on this, whether it passes or fails, sends a message to Iran. If this passes, the Iranians are going to simply stand up and walk away from negotiations. They're going to say this thing's over. The Congress has told the President of the United States, leave us alone. We can do whatever we want to do, and they will walk away. If you think that's a good idea, you should vote for this. On the other hand, if you believe that what the President of the United States has done, and that is bring the Iranians to the table to negotiate on items that they have refused to negotiate on for a long time in the past, and has used the armed forces of the United States to bring them to the table, then you should vote no on this. Let diplomacy work. Give the President, give the Department of State, give the current administration the ability to, once again, give Iran the opportunity to do the right thing. Maybe they will. We don't know for sure yet because we have some 50-some days left of the negotiations, but we ought to at least give that an opportunity to work. I urge everyone to vote no on the resolution. Thank you, Mr. President.
And then to remind you, back in January of 2025, Jim Risch was saying maximum pressure against the mullahs work, maximum pressure against Iran. He was one of the architects of all of this, starting back in January 20, going back earlier. But look what he said then. Play this clip.
Trump left office at the end of his first 4 years. Iran was greatly weakened economically, militarily, and everything else. Of course, then the new administration came in, shoveled a bunch of cash into him, begged him to come to the table to make an agreement. As a result of that, Iran got stronger and stronger. The good news is that this administration has a different view of it. I've had lengthy discussions with them, with the president himself. They are going to go back to a maximum pressure campaign against Iran. And look, Iran's got a decision to make. It isn't the people who vote. It is the regime in Iran. The people of Iran, they want their freedom. They would love to have a free democratic country. The population leans west if it possibly can. The regime that's there is going to have to make some really tough decisions because I just don't see with the exterior pressure they're getting, the interior pressure they're getting, that they can sustain what they've been doing for any length of time.
And I've got more receipts of this guy. February 24th, 2026, 4 days before the invasion. Here's what he was saying. Let's play it.
I think the Iranian regime needs to listen very carefully to what President Trump is saying. He's a man who does not make idle threats. He does things about it. As you can see, he is preparing to do something about it. So the regime needs to listen very, very carefully.
And as the head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Jim Risch should at the bare minimum be doing hearings on the war. First off, we shouldn't be in this catastrophic war. But at a bare minimum, you're the damn chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Hold hearings on the war so we can ask questions and we can see what the hell is going on. Get that Admiral Brad Cooper, the lying CENTCOM admiral. Let's find out what the hell's going on there. Let's get Hegseth there for hours. Let's ask these people questions. Let's get Rubio there. Let's get Jared Kushner there. Let's get Steve Witkoff. And don't we want to ask questions? That's why this risk, this isn't a political thing to me. It's like we need people to do freaking oversight. We need people who can bring accountability. And here you have Democratic Senator Kaine talking about what it's like to work with this MAGA Republican from Idaho who's now going against the independent. By the way, this guy from Idaho who also tried to block the Epstein files from getting released. And well, here's what Senator Kaine said. Play this clip.
My Virginians who were deployed overseas in the Ford, way past the period of the deployment, fires raging on deck, toilets that don't work. They're supposed to be home with their families. I know things that they're asking me that I can't tell them because they only tell us in classified. And get this, we learned something really important today. Chris, you correct me if I'm wrong. In a classified hearing, Chris asked the Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chair, Jim Risch, the following. What the witnesses say is classified. What the senators say is not. And Chris said, this is fine. Classified hearing's fine. When are we going to have a public hearing about this war? When? And Senator Risch said the following. I have decided that we will not have public hearings because I do not believe the administration's decision makers should be subject to public questioning by senators. I mean, can you believe that? I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit for candor, but I mean, they do not believe that the civilian decision makers should be subject to questions by United States senators. If they were secure in the justness of their cause or the adequacy of their plan, they would not be afraid to answer public questions about what they're doing. They'll put together the video of their own greatest hits, intermixing it with Hollywood film productions and video game stuff and put it out all day long, but they don't want to answer questions that we ask them. We are going to keep forcing them again and again and again, as much as they hate it, to have to vote on this until we finally get in public the answers that the Americans deserve. And we think if Americans get the answers, we will grow and grow and grow in a desire to end this illegal war. Thank you so much.
Now, I'll just share with you very briefly what Todd Achilles, who's now got this path, this one-on-one race right now in Idaho after Roth pulled out of the race. Let's show you what Todd Achilles, former top Democratic representative in the state of Idaho. They know him in Idaho. He's an Army veteran. You know, this guy's a well-liked guy in Idaho. Here, play this clip.
There have been times in the life of every nation when people must stand, not in despair, but in determination. I believe that time is now. I believe that place is Idaho. It's time to reclaim our republic. That's why I'm leaving the Democratic Party and announcing my independent campaign for U.S. Senate. I'm Todd Achilles. I was raised on a family farm. I served as an Army tank commander. I spent my career in the tech industry and served as an Idaho state representative. Now I'm a teacher and a veterans advocate. I love this country and I love Idaho, but we are failing. The two-party system is failing. No matter who's in power, the result's the same. Record debt, endless wars, policies that help corporations, not families. This is why I believe it's time for change. As an independent, I will fight to protect the public lands that we grew up on and that we raised our kids on, because these lands are Idaho's soul. I will not allow 1 acre to be sold. We need to pay down our national debt and not burden our kids. We cannot spend more lives and money on endless foreign conflicts, and we must rebuild an economy where a 40-hour week supports a home, a family, and a future. And in Congress, we need term limits, a stock trading ban, and money out of our elections. Some say this can't be done, that the system's just too rigged, but never underestimate people who've been betrayed. We Idahoans are independent. We believe in duty and service, not drama and self-interest. I'm not asking for allegiance to a party, just the opposite. I'm running to recommit ourselves to the Constitution and to each other. If you believe this two-party system is broken, then join our campaign. I know there's a lot of us out there. Let's build a new Idaho where we put people before politics.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Let me know what you think about all of this. Big developments in Iowa and Idaho. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Before you go, our book, WTF America, is available for pre-order now. It's the story of how we got here and how we fight our way back. To pre-order, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.